So it gives me immense pleasure again to welcome all of you to this festive evening of Prerana, which we have been consistently having this program from last few months. And by Lord's grace, we will continue to have this program. So we have started this program after the pandemic is over, and it gives us great happiness to see all of you are coming very regularly for this program and increasing our enthusiasm. So first of all, I welcome you all to this festive evening. So today's topic of discussion is 4 sutras for success in all fields of life. Everybody is looking for success. But the question is, do we understand what is success? And if we do understand what is success, do we know how to attain success? Most of us feel maybe we know, some feel we don't know. So there is a lot of bewilderment in this area. And the Vedas enjoin that tad vijnanartham saguru meva bigachet. Whenever you are confused, you need to approach a person who is Guru, the knower of the truth, Tattvadarshi, and from him understand about your bewilderment and the solution for your bewilderment. So today, for understanding the sutras for success, we have with us His Grace Amal Kirtan Prabhu. So we would like to welcome Prabhuji by three times loudly chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So please everybody chant with me, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. I would like to give a short introduction about Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is from a very pious Maharashtra family. So Prabhuji from his very childhood has got training in spirituality. Prabhuji has completed his graduation and post-graduation in computer science. And Prabhuji has a vast corporate experience of working in various countries like India, Brazil, Hong Kong, Canada, and so on. So Prabhuji has, during his corporate life, found that life throws a lot of challenges towards people, but people do not respond to them in an ethical or in a way that will give them fulfillment. In order to understand about these problems more, Prabhuji decided to spend 10 years studying ancient wisdom in ISKCON. And after Prabhuji felt that he has understood, Prabhuji has started giving these wisdom of ancient knowledge to all the youths as well as congregation alike. So Prabhuji is instrumental in guiding many youths in various engineering colleges like NIT Surathkal, IIT Chennai, COEP Pune, and so on. So Prabhuji actively conducts workshops like Kirtan Yoga, which is a Kirtan workshop. Prabhuji is also a very melodious singer. So he conducts this program, Kirtan Yoga, and he performs Kirtan concerts in India as well as abroad. So Prabhuji has his very, newly started YouTube channel in which he gives coaching for Vedic parenting as well as leadership mentor. So please follow Prabhuji's YouTube channel. We are going to post the link of Prabhuji's channel in the WhatsApp group. So please consider subscribing. And finally, we welcome you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Kanaka Prabhu. And I welcome all of you today here, that you have given your precious time and come here to learn something for your own self. And that one step which we take for our own self and self-development is an asset, actually. And we should build upon these assets on a very regular basis. And thanks to you, basically, for having been come here today and giving that precious time of yours. Okay? Fine. So we'll do Kirtan at the end, because since Kirtan was already going on, I will do short prayers and then we'll start. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतगदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Yes. So as the topic says, achieving excellence. And what are those 4 sutras? So let me ask you a question. Let's start with a question. That who wants to attain excellence in academics? Everyone here? I hope so. Because all of you are in the student life, so that is the first priority for all of you. Who wants to achieve excellence in relationships? You can raise hands, no problem. Okay. Who wants to achieve excellence in health? Everyone. Who wants to achieve excellence in spiritual life? Everyone. See, if I see the majority here, everyone wants to achieve excellence in all these areas of life. Nothing is left out, is it not? Yes, of course, we all want excellence in our physical fitness, in our relationships, in our professional life, rather in career, and of course in our spiritual connection with Lord Himself. So this is kind of an holistic experience or excellence which we are expecting from ourselves, basically. Is it not? So now, if we want to achieve this, there has to be certain key principles, rather, which we should adopt in our life and live by. And then we can attain that excellence very easily. And therefore, today, I have just combined them in 4 sutras, which is very easy. You may know these words which I'm going to tell you today. Some of you may even know the content also which I am speaking with you today. But sometimes what happens, to reiterate the things again makes us to recommit to our own goals of life. Do you agree with this? Yes. So the sutras are in the form of A, B, C, D because it is easy to remember. So I thought, let's make it that way. A, B, C, D, everyone knows, right? So let's start with A. Okay, the first sutra for the day. So the first sutra is A for absorption. Okay. Now, in order to succeed or excel in any activity, we need 2 things. First is right approach and right skill. Do you agree with this? Is it not? Suppose you want to study nicely, you want the right approach and right skill. Anything you can take. And the famous golfer Tiger Woods was asked a question, what is the secret of your success? Because he was a really famous golfer. So he answered the question in just 3 words: practice, practice, and practice. Okay, these were the 3 words he gave. Now, if you see here, just take an example of relationship for that sake. If you want to have a good relationship with your friends, family, your loved ones, then the first thing you should practice good communication with them. Is it not? If you practice good communication over a period of time, you will see a blossoming relationship. Is it not? Relationship with family, with even God. How the communication with the God goes? By chanting the holy names of the Lord in all meditation ways, different techniques. So basically, relationship is based on communication. So by practicing it, we can attain and blossom it much more in a nicer way. In business, for that sake, if you want to do business, eventually you will be working professionals or doing some business out there of your own. You'll be self-employed or whatever in a professional circles. So if you want to have a blossoming business, then you need to practice to solve the problems of the people, what problem they are having, and pinpointing their problem and giving a solution to the problem will make your business really profitable. Is it not? So that needs a lot of practice in solving that problems. Is it not true? And then take physical fitness. If we eat regularly a balanced diet, then our health is very good. And that practice of eating healthy diet is very important. So if you see, practice is the word which we have coined here. But there is more to it. Practice with the right kind of absorption is very, very important. Why it is important? Let me tell you an example. Sometime back, some years back, I used to go to hostels to meet boys, to give them sessions on Bhagavad Gita. and guide them. So once, just like that, when I was in the hostel meeting two boys, so you know how hostels are, boys' hostels especially, they are very divine places to stay, right? So when I went there, there were rope lines hanged, and I had to duck myself and then go below the tunnel, and then the tunnel of clothes, I should say. And then when I reached the room, to the boys whom I wanted to speak, of course, there was different fragrance all around. So when I was sitting there talking to the boys, believe me, there was a huge sound coming from the nearby room, because of which I was not even able to talk with those boys properly. But there was one boy in that same room who was sitting and studying at the corner of that room. It's totally oblivious. For him, even I didn't exist. He was studying very nicely. And I was very surprised seeing him. And these two boys who were talking to me were complaining, these boys are always troubling us with the loud sound and all. We can't study at all and all. What to do? So, and that boy was like completely absorbed in studies. You see, this is what, I was talking about. Distraction is those things that we look at when we are not absorbed. Am I right? Distraction is those things to which we look at when we are not absorbed in. And that boy was absorbed. That's why, even though that distraction existed, it was actually not existing for him. Is it not true? Right now, we are all sitting here. I'm speaking with you, you're hearing from me. Physically, you're present, everyone. But you yourself only know whether you are here or not. Is it not true? Whether we are really absorbed in taking something good for our life or not, that depends on individual person out there. Is it not? Are we really absorbed in our life doing things what we have to do at present? It's very important. Otherwise, these distractions will always be there unless and until we are absorbed. I remember one incident with my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So there was one Shiba uncle. He used to stay near our temple. So now he passed away actually, 4 or 5 years back only he passed away. He was very old and he was a music teacher. So because I am fond of music right from my childhood, so I really cherish this memory a lot. That teacher was such a beautiful teacher. He was very old, very learned in music. So he used to teach my Guru Maharaj different tunes of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and different ragas. So like this, he had composed 4,000 tunes in different ragas. And he used to teach very regularly. So he was talking to me one day. He told that, you know, when he used to stay in one village when he was a small kid, he narrated that story. He told that there was one amazing and very famous Bollywood singer who used to stay in our village. And he used to sing early in the morning at 4 o'clock. Start singing. Now, संगीत में कैसे होता है? रियाज करना होता है. रियाज के बिना गला अच्छा नहीं हो सकता है. और रियाज कब करना होता है? ब्रह्म मुहूर्त पर 4 बजे उठकर. तो वो जो सिंगर था, he used to sing in the morning early hours, 4 o'clock. 3:30 बजे उठते थे और रियाज शुरू करते थे खरज का. Now, kharaj riyaz is something very difficult riyaz, wherein we have to pitch in the lower notes. Higher note is okay when we right now sing it, but lower notes in the morning time, it's quite difficult. But it comes out in the morning only, for that sake. So like, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. तो ये जो सा का नीचे का नोट है ना, तो ये लगाते थे वो. So when he used to pull out that note and he used to do it hours together. I do not imagine this singer is one of the very famous singer. You all know him. He is none other than Mahmoud Rafi. So the way when he sings, you all know how we get mesmerized. Everyone sitting here have heard Mahmoud Rafi any time? Is it not? Everybody knows him. Who knows? Doesn't know him. So just that, when I heard that, he told he was so absorbed in that for hours together. And that's why he achieved that excellence. Today, what he is, even when he is no more in this world, his presence is so much felt because he has attained that level of excellence in his voice.
Really versatile singer he was in all areas, in all kinds of songs. So see, practice can get you somewhere, but practice with absorption will actually take you to excellence. This is what I want to convey to you with regards to this one sutra of absorption. It's very important to understand, anything. Even when we were talking about relationships some time back, are we really present? Are we really mindful about when we are talking to the people? Like some people are talking with us, and after some time, क्या बोला आपने? ऐसे बोलते हैं हम. But we are not present there. We are not absorbed in hearing or listening to the people who are communicating with us at times. Is it not? And there are so many problems then. Is it not? Similarly, there was one girl and boy who were in great love with each other. So these college going boys and girl, were having affair, and their parents were not in favor with that affair actually. As usual, the love stories. So once what happened, this girl's parents and had gone out somewhere. So the boy told the girl, that you come to meet me, somewhere in the forest, nearby forest area, whatever it is. So this girl was very happy. पहले के ज़माने में क्या बोलते थे? एक शरीर दो आत्मा, है ना? ऐसे बोलते थे ना? अभी के ज़माने में क्या बोलेंगे lovers, I am your smartphone, you are my SIM card. Is it not? So like this, the relationship was there, and the girl was very happy, and she just went, was so excited to meet that boy. And she literally, went running towards the forest. Now in the forest, there was a sage sitting doing meditation. She bumped into that sage. And she didn't even realize that she bumped in, and she went ahead still like that only, not even paying heed to what happened at that time. And then when she came back, after meeting that boy and everything happened, and then when she came back, that sage was standing to meet her, quite enraged. Well, how dare you, you bumped upon me, you didn't even realize I'm, sitting and meditating here. But then that girl told that sage a very great thing, which the sage only realized it further. You know what? That I was not even knowing that you were sitting, because I was absorbed in meeting my boyfriend. She was not even knowing that the sage was sitting there, and she asked the sage, but how did you come to know that I bumped? Because you were also in meditation, right? So he was confused now what to answer, you see. So it's all about absorption. Whatever we practice, when we are focused in that, how the convex lens works, right? When we focus the sun rays, the same sun rays concentrated in energy now can be used in different ways, solar cookers or solar heaters or whatever it is. So that absorption is what is important for all of us. And when we channelize our attention in that particular activity, what we do, then we can get amazing results in our anything which we do. Like you just now told me, you want to achieve excellence in all these 4 areas of life. This is what the first sutra is you can take back today. So what is the first sutra? Tell it loud. Little more louder. Absorption. And I told you something about the definition of absorption. Distraction, please. Yes. Exactly. Your answer is going to come very soon. But it's still in nutshell, to the degree you are resolute in your purpose, to that degree your absorption will be strong. And that's where this verse comes from, Bhagavad Gita. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरु नंदन बहुशाखा हि अनंताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिना. This is a very wonderful slok from Bhagavad Gita which tells us Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Ekeha Kurunandana. When we are resolute in our purpose, like suppose you want to achieve excellence in one particular subject, So how much resolute you are, that will define your absorption. Then age will not matter there. Neither the environment will matter. Is it not? That boy who was sitting in the hostel was a young chap. Now, usually in the youth, our mind is more fickle. We easily get attracted by the environments around us. है ना? But at the same time, his focus was he wanted to secure good marks in his academics, and that's why his focus was very strong. He was absorbed despite the disturbances there. That's why distraction is those things which we look at when we are not absorbed. Is it not? That is distraction. Exactly. You are very close. Because if we react to the situations, then we'll easily get distracted. Neglecting them works better. Is it not? But that neglecting happens when we are resolute. Okay? Understood? Good. Let's go a little ahead now to the next sutra, because absorption is at one level where we can actually go towards excellence. Whatever we are practicing in our life. Next to it is B, the sutra number 2, that is believe. What do you believe in? Do you believe you can, or do you believe you can't? What do you believe? Yes? Speak it out, please. I can, or we can, whatever it is. Is it not true? And we should be confident about it, because this is very important. That's why I asked you to really spell it out. I can, or we can, aloud. Because this indicates that confidence within us. Is it not? I can do it. We have to believe in ourselves only first before believing in any other aspects around us. Because it is we who want to achieve excellence. We are not running around to achieve excellence for someone else. Is it not? We are running around to achieve excellence for ourselves. So do you believe no matter what happens, I can? Is what is important. We may say, I don't have enough resources. I don't have this support of people. I don't have that kind of, people to inspire me. These are all reasons that we may give. Is it not true? But if we believe that I can, we can go much ahead. And we can get confidence. But if we don't believe in ourselves that we can, that same confidence will go down, our self-esteem goes down, and will break down. Is it not true? And that should not happen. And that's why, we should believe in ourselves first. And the second step is to start with whatever we have. We should not wait, for things to take place for us. Like, for example, there was a person who was searching for a job. He was not a literate person, basically. He got a job. He applied for a job, basically, in Microsoft as a janitor. Janitor means one who actually looks after the maintenance and, of the building and all. So when he went there, he gave the interview and all, and he passed the interview because the employer told him that, you have given a very nice interview and you have been selected. So now we want to give you your employment letter. Please give us your email ID. Now this person was an illiterate fellow. He told, I don't have email ID. What is this? Where do I get it? He asked such questions to that employer. That employer was shell shocked. How come, you're working for a Microsoft company as a janitor and you don't have an email ID? Sorry, we can't give you the job. And he lost the job. Then he was really upset about it, of course, because he lost a good job, which would pay him well, and he was, would become quite stable in his life. Because he's illiterate, where would he get job otherwise? Is it not? He has to support his family there. But then he came out and he just put his hand in the pocket and pulled out, some few dollars, and then he saw $10 in his pocket. But then he thought that, he didn't say that, oh, I got only $10. From that, he took out $5 and purchased some tomatoes. Okay? And he took that tomatoes and he went around and sold them to some people in the neighborhood with some extra rate. He got some commission extra. Okay? And like this, he thought it's a good thing. Let me do it again. He did it again. Did again and again. And he was in profit actually. And no time, he was a billionaire. Can you imagine? He was the major wholesaler and retailer of tomatoes in that area. And where is that janitor now? Who, he was bound to become a janitor, but now he's a big businessman out there, earning billions of rupees. And then that insurance guy came to him, telling him, I would, make your insurance ready. And the papers are ready. I need to give you in your email ID. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So the insurance guy told him, sir, now that I have made your insurance, I need to give you those papers in your email ID. Can you give me your email ID? And then this guy laughed again. He told, I don't have an email ID. I said, what? You're a billionaire. You don't have an email ID? Yes, I don't have one. Because if I would have one, then I would have become what? Is it not? He would have become janitor only. Now he is what? He's a billionaire. You see? So he didn't cry there. Oh, I lost my job. I don't have anything. I just have $10 in my pocket. He didn't say that. He started with whatever he had. See, this is what belief can take you. This is where belief can take us to. We start with whatever we have. Is it not true? You know Brian Acton? Everybody knows Brian Acton, who started WhatsApp. He was rejected by Twitter. He was rejected by Facebook, before starting WhatsApp. You know that? He didn't started crying, oh God, I got rejected from Facebook and Twitter. These are dream jobs, is it not? For any student sitting here, you're all engineers, I feel, right? And different fields maybe. If you get selected in dream company like Facebook, Google, or whatever, it's a dream job out there. But he was rejected. But then he started WhatsApp, and that same WhatsApp was purchased by Mark Zuckerberg. Now, recently, you know that, right? For how many rupees, you know that? $20 billion. Someone said that, right? You know how much $1 billion is? 6,000 crore rupees. And how much is $20 billion? It is 120,000 crores. Okay, na? Lifetime is easy now for him. But he didn't cry there. You know Steve Jobs? He started Apple. Now he was a very good in technical stuff there. But he was not so keen towards managing things, so he hired people for his organization. He made a managerial board there. But that same managerial board removed him from the company. Now he didn't start, अरे मेरी company ने मुझको निकाल दिया यार. करूँ तो करूँ क्या अभी? But he didn't cry. He came up with something very, very creative. You know what? What is that? Who will tell me? Pixar. Is it not? The dream of his life. And now, that same managerial board reappointed him back again in Apple. Is it not? So, these are the great people in today's generation also we can see who have lost the battle many times, but they didn't give up. They believed in themselves. They started from whatever they had with them. See, oftentimes what happens now, we wait for perfection. नहीं, मुझे ये सब आएगा ना, तब मैं करूँगा ये. मैं जब perfect बन जाऊँगा ना, तब मैं करूँगा. नहीं. I would rather say, start taking imperfect, massive action. What? Imperfect, massive action. Remember these words, because it is very important. What will happen at the most? Fail ना, होने दो ना. सीखेंगे उससे हम. Is it not? Just some time back, I was talking with Surana Gaurhari Prabhu. He is a brahmachari in this temple. You might all know him personally. So he is a very good friend of mine. We have been knowing each other for many years now. So he was telling me that when the lockdown happened, we were not able to even reach out anyone. Is it not? And that is when he started this online classes, basically, because that was a very new thing for them. They didn't had any stuff with them to start. They had simple mobile. The sadhus don't have mobile smartphone like us. So they just lended one smartphone from someone, a very normal one. And they started shooting videos on that. You know, from there they started, and now they have full setup. But they started with whatever they had, is it not? And now they could reach, you know how much? There are 5 programs been started in this temple. You know, every day one program is there for the congregation around, the family people around here in this vicinity. You know, one is Srimad Bhagavad Puran, one is Leelamrita, one is Bhagavad Gita. So like this, 5 programs are going on in this vicinity just because of that program which they started. Can you imagine this? Is it not applaudable? But they started from scratch with whatever they had with them. And this is where, you know, you people are also getting connected there, is it not? Otherwise, we would have been sitting here in the weekend in some theater here around here, is it not? Is it not? Like that. So, this is very important to believe that we can and start with whatever we have. Is it not? One more example I'll give you. There was a shoe company. The chairman in that shoe company sent one sales manager to one village. That sales manager went to that village, you know, to sell the shoes. Now, the product has to be sold. But then, to his surprise, what he saw that nobody in that village wears the shoes. Then how to sell the shoes? He told the sir, you know, he called his manager, the chairman, that, oh sir, you know, this village, nobody wears shoes, so our shoes are not going anyway, so I have to come back. So he told, please come back. Then the chairman thought for a while and he thought, no, let some few months go. After that, he sent one more manager, sales manager. Now, this sales manager, when he went, he ended up selling 2,000 pairs of shoes. And when he called the chairman, told, you know, we want more, send in more. And then the chairman told, Are, the first one told me that nobody wears the shoes and you are telling me send some more. You know, you have already sold 2,000. So he told that this is the place where no one wears shoes. That's such a place where everyone can get shoes here. You see the difference? Looking opportunity in the problem or problem in the opportunity is what we can, you know, have to select in our journey of life. Things are going to happen. Situations are going to come and arise. But are those situations an opportunity? Or are those situations which you are in are a problem? Is the perspective, you know? And that depends on what you believe in. You believe in yourself, you can. Start with small start. You know? छोटे steps से शुरू करो. See, the journeys from A to Z, for example. Start the journey from A to B. Someone say, sir, even B is very difficult to reach. What to say? If B is difficult, start from A to B1, then B2, B3, B4, B5. Take 20 steps at least to come to B, the main B, and then go ahead. In this way, we can do that journey in a very successful way. Do you agree? So this principle, this sutra of believe that I can, not I can't. Okay? Please say it loud. The second sutra, believe I can. Yes. So, when we talk about absorption and the belief which we have, to actually support this too, we need the third sutra, that is C, which is called company. Company is very important. Association is very important. Are you surrounded by the people who enthuse you, inspire you, always motivate you, and always wants to see you successful and believe in you that you can? Or are you surrounded by the people who want to just pull your leg down and jealous of you, envious of you, and don't want to progress, don't want you to progress? You know? What are the kind of people you are surrounded with? This is very, very important to understand. That's why we should choose our association very thoughtfully, mindfully. How are the people around us? Like in my life, I am very fortunate to have my Guru Maharaj, because from whom I get great impetus and tremendous energy, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and my mentors like His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, Repatipati Prabhu, and my good friends like Madhosaya Prabhu, Suvarna Gauri Prabhu, Kanaka Prabhu is also my good friend, and many others, basically, I should say, who are always giving me positive impetus in my life. You know? And then I have my mother and my wife sitting here. They have come today. They are my backbone in my life who are always supporting me in my journey of success. So these are the people I surround myself with because they are like battery chargers for me. When I'm around them, I'm really charged up, you know. And that's what I always be, I always take association of. And I avoid association to my best possible of the people who just pull the legs or, just jealous or envious of me. We can feel that vibes very much sometimes. So better is to avoid such association. Is it not? Because you know what happens? Some people who are constantly telling you, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, at one point of time, you really think that you cannot do this. You know that? You know, Adolf Hitler once said one sentence which I've written here: if you speak a lie loud enough and long enough, people start thinking it is truth. And it is the way it is. When you start speaking it loud enough and long enough, it becomes the truth. People think like that. And even we start thinking like that. You know that frog story? Once what happened in a village, they had a competition organized of all the frogs in the village. They had decided all the frogs should climb the tower. And the frogs assembled. They assembled near the tower and started climbing. The competition started. मस्त कूदी लगा रहे थे, मस्त एक से एक बढ़कर सब जा रहे थे ऊपर, मस्त जा रहे थे. Everyone was climbing actually the tower and everyone was surprised. How come these frogs can climb this tower? Some people started teasing them. क्या ये frog क्या चढ़ पाएगा? कुछ भी, Is this a competition? ऐसे थोड़ी ना कंपटीशन होता है. और वो भी मेंढकों का. थोड़ी ना चढ़ेंगे ऊपर टॉवर पे, देखो ये तो कितना एरोगेंट है, देखो चढ़ रहा है ऊपर, खुद तो चढ़ेगा नहीं, गिर जाएगा. और जब ऐसे कमेंट सुनने लगे वो फ्रॉग्स, तो आधे फ्रॉग्स तो गिर गए कमेंट सुनकर ही. Half of the frogs started falling down, hearing the comments only. Those were negative comments coming in and they started falling down. At one point of time, all frogs were falling down only when they were reaching certain height. But it was one frog who was, climbing still. And to everyone's amazement, he reached the top. I hope everyone knows the story by now. It's a very famous story. But still, there is a beautiful lesson to reiterate here for all of us. When the frog climbed up and he came down back again, all the reporters were waiting, to click his photo for the next image in the newspaper, you see. कल के अखबारों में फोटो छपनी तो थी ना. इतना बड़ा काम जो किया. That frog came in down when he reached. Every reporter came with their mic and started asking him, "Hello, sir. How did you achieve it? Really, please tell your secret." And the frog, what did he tell? Ah. Did you hear what I told? वो बहरा था. He was impaired in his hearing. And that's the reason, or that was the secret. He was not able to hear all the comments which were flowing, to pull everyone's leg down. Everybody was hearing, that's why they fell down. But this frog was impaired in his hearing and he just fell down. He actually reached the top properly. So बहरे बनो. ये सूचना है सबके लिए. बहरे बनो. किसके प्रति बहरे बनो? कौन बोलेगा? नेगेटिव कमेंट्स के प्रति सब लोग बोलेंगे. यस. येस. निंदकाचे घर असावे शेजारी. देयर शुड बी अ क्रिटिक बिसाइड अस. That is also good. Yes. Of course, this is an analogy to make a particular point here, and that is also right. We should have critics around us. From that critic, we can improve them as a feedback to improvise our understanding and our actions. But at the same time, the main point that I want to bring forth here for all of you is, how should we take the comments of the people when they are quite negative and disturbing? Is it not? Because sometimes what happens, we may lose our good moral because of such comments and not do the things which we are able to achieve also. Is that not true? We are able to achieve something very good in a proper way, but just because someone is saying something to us, we are thinking, oh, I just can't do it. So we should not be affected by such negativity around us. There will be negativity everywhere around us. People will be cynical around us. They will, whatever you say, वो टेढ़े में ही घुसेंगे कभी कभी, तो ऐसे लोग भी होंगे, but still we have to be very positive. Is it not true? So, I see there is one now since tomorrow is Ram Navami, Ram Janma hone hi wala hai kal. So I thought to discuss something related to that, basically because in Ramayana my favorite character is Jambavan for that sake. You see, Jambavan, when Mother Sita was abducted and she was been taken to Ashok Vatika, when that news came in, now the time was there to send someone to see her. How she is and where she is and what situation she is, how is her health, how is her consciousness or whatever it, how she's staying there. Everyone was very sad to know that. As soon as they came to know that she is there, who will go? Who will go to take her? Who will go to look at her? So there was a big discussion. Then Jambavan called the meeting of all the Vanarasena. Then every Vanarasena was told who will jump how many yojanas. Some told I can jump 40, some told I can jump 40, some told I can jump 100, but I can't come back. Now what to do? Who will go? Big confusion and big problem. Then Jambavan went to Hanuman. He told Hanuman, Hanuman, you should go and you can go. Jambavan told Hanuman. Hanuman told him, how can I go? But I don't think so I can go. No, you can go, he told. How? Because you were cursed by the sages when you were a child. But because you did mischievous activities at that time when you were very young, you are blessed by many, many devatas also after that. And it was a curse that you will remember only all these attributes or merits you have when somebody will remind you. When the right time will come, and this is the right time. And then when Hanuman heard that, he was alerted and he came to know all his qualities, what he had. And he started growing in his size. Huge he became. And hail, Jai Shri Ram! Boliye. At the peak of your voice, Jai Shri Ram! Yes. So when he hailed Jai Shri Ram, at that time, he flew with the rocket speed, and reached Lanka. And you know the history. Everyone knows the history. How he went there, saw Mother Sita, and then while coming back, he did one extra bonus service by burning the Lanka also, So all that pastimes you have known. So the point discussed here is how Jambavan enthused, and inspired Hanuman, despite he was not believing in himself. Is that not? Hanuman was not believing in himself initially. He thought, I cannot. But he inspired him. So company, association of the right people around us can inspire us and enthuse us that we can. Is it not? Sometimes we need that. And how should we associate scriptures? It is written, it should be Satovara and Snigdha. Satovara means one who is little more experienced than us, in whatever subject matter we want to take guidance and inspiration from. And he should be Snigdha. Snigdha means one who is affectionate towards us. He is not envious of us. One who is very much lovable, or you can say, he appreciates our endeavors and wants us to go ahead, not jealous of us. Is it not? That's called Snigdha. So, mind you, when you take association and make friendships, these are the qualities you should look. Satovara and Snigdha. Okay? So this company is very important. Now see, even after you have all this, you have good absorption in your practices, you believe that you can. Okay? And you start with whatever you have. And you have the right company. Do you feel it is enough? Rome was not built in a day. You know this proverb, right? We need perseverance and patience to attain and achieve excellence or the goals, whatever we might have planned. Is it not? See, you have a target, but to achieve that target, there are many small targets that needs to be achieved. Am I right? Is it not true? And this is where the next sutra comes, that is D. D for determination. Okay? We should have determination in ourselves. If I fail, I will stand up again and fight back. This attitude one should, because we may have absorption, we may have the belief in ourselves that we have the right company as well. But still I'm going to fail. It's the truth of life. Let me tell you that. Still I am going to fail because in every war there are multiple battles and we may lose some battles in that journey. Do you agree with this? The Pandavas lost many battles. Is it not? Abhimanyu was killed, Draupadi's sons were killed, Bhima's son Ghatotkach was killed, and they lost many small battles in their journey. But finally they won the war. Is it not? But they didn't give up. Did they give up? Lord Krishna was the beacon light of inspiration in their life, was always inspiring them in all walks of life. Even at those difficult juncture of life, they were very much disturbed, but that disturbance didn't affect their determination to go ahead and win the kingdom and establish dharma. You know? That's what was necessary at that time. And they achieved it. Similarly, in our life also, we need that determination in our life. Because without that determination, it is very difficult. Understanding? So, absorption, then believe that you can, whatever you can do, with whatever you have, that little start, even if it is imperfect, start it. And right association. Because right association acts like a much more bigger booster, I would tell you. I remember one story, there was a very sick man. He was he was admitted in the hospital on the bed. There was only 2 beds in that room and only one window in that room. So this person was beside that window. He was sitting, and in the daytime, the fluids in this body were drained out. And then other time he used to sit in the window, looking outside the window. And there was another room, another bed in that room, in which another patient was lying, and he couldn't sit up also. He has to lie on the back only because he was so much sick. So the first patient who was there, who was near the window, he used to look outside the window, and he used to tell what all he used to look outside the window to that patient who was lying on the bed flat because he couldn't get up. So in the daytime, whatever he used to look, beautiful scenery outside, a beautiful lake outside. Used to there is beautiful lake, children playing in the garden, the beautiful flowers that are blossoming, and birds are chirping. We can see the skyline as well. So he was describing all this, and this person who was lying in the bed was just imagining all these things, and really, feeling very good about it, because he couldn't get up because of his illness, neither go out. See, by hearing him only, he was becoming very happy and blissful. So after some time, what happened? After a few days, that person who was in the nearby the window, he passed away. He died actually. And this second patient felt very bad actually, because now who will tell him that what is outside, because he cannot get up. Then the nurse came in and he told the nurse that, could you please shift me to the window side bed? I would like to see something outside. So the nurse agreed. So she's just made the switch. And to his surprise, when he looked out of the window, what was there? Out of the window, there was a blank wall. He was surprised how it is possible. There was nothing outside actually. Then after some time the nurse came in. He asked the nurse, that patient was there before me who just passed away. He used to tell me so many wonderful things were outside the windows. And now I see just a blank wall. Is it true? That nurse, what she told? That the patient who was sitting beside the window was blind. He was just telling you because you may feel it good. Can you imagine what kind of beautiful association they received? This is what association is. Such powerful association. And we should associate with such people in our life, which act like a booster. To summarize, we need absorption. We need practice in whatever we do, but practice with absorption can take us to excellence. Because distractions are those things which we see when we are not absorbed. And the second sutra is believe. Believe that we can. Many great personalities like Steve Jobs, Brian Acton, They believed that they can. The janitor, they started from whatever they had, with whatever they can, but they didn't give up. Is it not? And the company, when we have the right company, we will reach the excellence, in fact, much faster, than even before, without the company. And determination, you know, determination is also very important because there will be many battles that we will fail and lose. But despite that, we should rise again to fight back with that determination. Thank you so much. I conclude here for the day. Hare Krishna. Do you have